That's my third girl, JJ. She's severely autistic. And, Ryan asked me up here because, I like to mention the fact that I'm a veteran, domestic service military, Canadian military only. And prior to COVID, thank you. Hold on, sweetie, just wait. Prior to lockdown, I should say, I was somewhat in the closet about it. I wasn't, most Canadian veterans are quite a bit more humble than I am about it, and I was even a bit more humble about this, but when it became apparent that businesses would not honor mask exemptions, and when it became apparent that people were being incited to bully women and children with mask exemptions, in particular my wife and my child that you just saw there, I realized that I had to establish presence whenever I was in public with her. Now, this silly brain bucket here, I don't like wearing it, and I don't normally wear it. I guess it's fun to dress up for these rallies, but this past week my wife was turned away from blush. They said absolutely no exemption, and that got me thinking, well, maybe what I should do is I should just show up to blush, pull one of these, say, hey, give me my groceries, and then be on my way out. So that's how easy it is to be compliant with these things. Really, it is. But you know what? That's also how easy it is to get down on your knees and lick boot. And so, if you notice, my ballistic face shield is up as actually a bit of a gesture of defiance, because I know it's here. Oh, I'm in compliance. But no, I'm choosing not to. So
I'm choosing not to.
I wanted to spitball a few thoughts. The most poignant thought of all is that lockdowns are unequivocally child abuse.
Yes.
They are complete child abuse. And as a more important than being a military veteran, as a father of 4, I'm so blessed that I had to spend this time at home, this past year at home, working on a career transition, being at home with my wife and my 4 daughters. They're 5 angels in my life. And with children, understand this. Children look to the adults, and they look to their parents especially, and they internalize everything that they do, everything they say, and every stupid thing they use to cover their face, and they internalize that and say, wow, this is normal. And they form a belief that they will never, ever change. So all these kids who this past year, who have been imprisoned, who have been surrounded by a society of grown-ups who have lost the ability to think rationally, who are being taught by their teachers, by their government, by the mainstream narrative, and by their compliant parents. They're being taught that if they go out in public without covering their faces, everyone around them will die. These children are going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives. You cannot undo what you learned as a child. And when you teach children, when the institutions are teaching them to be agoraphobic, to be antisocial, you watch what's going to happen to those children as they become adults. So I want to close off with a quick thought here, at least some encouragement, some upbeat, positive notes here. Life as we know it is never going back to the way it was before this. It is not. There is no way things are ever going to go back. For one, there's already a generation of children who are scarred for life. Okay? And that presents us as an opportunity. Those of us, the small number of us who are actually awake to this. Growing. The opportunity that is presented is we have to be the architects of the future that can offer some hope to that generation of lost children. And to those of you who come to these things, be encouraged, because I see a few of you here with your children here. Your children will inherit a golden age because they will not be traumatized, they will not be scarred for life, they will not be brutalized, and they will not have to suffer the rest of their lives from the trauma that all of their peers will. And so be encouraged and keep coming out, because I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the government, I'm not scared of the police, I'm not scared of all the things that the medical dictators are threatening me with. Because I know that in 10 years, in 20 years, when I look in the faces of my children, I will have no regret about the fact that I did not participate in this madness, that their future was more important to me than my temporary comfort and conformity to the crowd.
Yeah. How the hell is the government supposed to get anyway?
I'm just going to close off of that, I think. That's a good place to land off here. My name is Nick. I run several groups on YouTube and Facebook called Young Guns Canada. I'm starting up a website, Young Guns Canada, where I'm going to be offering coaching and instruction related to resilience training, survival training, and small arms training. So some things I specialize in. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a wonderful rally.